was a damn jack up right there, man.
Jack up.
Jacking up already. Damn.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike.
I'm Damani.
Hey, and you are listening to the Mike and Damani show. So today we have a special guest for you guys. Her name is Anessa,
Yes.
coming straight out of San Diego, California. We have a few topics we're going to touch today, but let her introduce herself to you guys.
Cool, cool. Hey guys, AK in the building right here, and I just have a few questions for these hilarious men right here because let's give them props. Their conversations are kind of funny. So I'm very excited and I'm very glad that you guys have invited me to be on this episode. Let's get it started. What are we talking about today?
Yeah.
Those little hands
Life.
clapping. Life.
What about life?
And all the hard decisions that life requires you to make.
Specifically, what, Damon? You have to elaborate on that, brother. You can't just throw the flame out there and no fire, bro. Come on.
Throw the flame out with no fire, bro.
No
You jacking
fire.
up all over the place, man.
No, you just flame. You know where you throw a flame, like throw a little spark on wood and expect it to just go up and blaze. You just do the spark, but no blaze, bro. Come on, where's the blaze at?
No, I don't throw no blazes. I throw fires
We
with
need
no heat.
we need substance. Oh, that don't make no sense. Fire
Okay,
without
okay,
no
okay,
heat.
okay.
Heat.
Yeah, with no heat and
We
every
don't.
one,
He
yes.
said.
Fucking stupid.
Hey, I'm
All
like
right, so today
Stewie,
we're gonna be
man.
talking
Stewie.
about. Hold on. You want the substance? I'm gonna give you plenty substance right now.
Okay, we're listening.
All right, so today we're gonna talk about uh Fortune 500 companies or just mainstream companies that do not adhere to minorities in any way, shape, or form, or are very disrespectful to minorities,
Hey, I
like
thought I
H&M, Walmart, Abercrombie and Finch, American Eagle, XYZ, so on and so forth.
So this was actually everything with this is one of my questions for you guys. Can I just ask it? Sorry to kind of cut you guys off, but
Now, go ahead.
let's go. My question was, should we go cold turkey on racist product? Like flat out cold turkey. You know, like if you're smoking cigarettes on the daily, every day, every year, and you just go cold turkey, that means quitting. No days, no days of the year. Should we go cold turkey on racist product?
Okay,
uh
so when you mean like racist product, you mean like American Eagle with their coolest monkey in the jungle kind of stuff, or
oh,
H&M?
that
That's
that was
whatever it
H and
is.
M. Yeah.
Yeah.
H&M, let me give you your black card back right now. Yes, products like that. I have one in particular that I do want to talk about that I didn't even know myself was an issue, and I wonder if you guys know what it is. Amazon. Do you guys know anything about Amazon putting out racist product?
Amazon put
What?
out. Amazon does shit like that all the time. I wouldn't be
Oh,
surprised. I
like
wouldn't
what?
be.
Are you serious? Like what?
Well, you gotta remember, Damani. Amazon is kind of like a better version of eBay. Instead of being able to, you know, what I'm saying, what is it called? Amazon
Like
just
bid?
goes straight to the consumer rather than bidding with eBay. Yeah, how eBay bids its product, Amazon just goes straight sell. There's a set price. This is what you buy it for. But
Uh huh.
it's filled with a numerous amount of products. You know, variety of products. So I wouldn't be surprised if they sell some type of racist crap. I mean, that's not surprising.
Okay. So,
I'm pretty sure they don't endorse it though.
of course, they wouldn't be able to endorse it because I mean it's Amazon. But you gotta remember, like Amazon is such a big company,
Exactly.
and it's essentially a bazaar that it's essentially like yeah a bazaar that other people go to sell their goods.
You
So it's
said
like Amazon has to have certain kind of algorithms in place. A bazaar or a flea market. If you want to call it a flea market, it's the same damn thing. Come on. Come on now. Increase your vocabulary. Come on now. Bazaar and flea market is the
uh,
same thing.
so
All right. So
so so explain to us again what you're saying, Ness. You said that Amazon is selling like a racist product or they're endorsing racist.
So this is the product that I found. Okay, so it was a baby bib, and on that bib it said "Slavery gets shit done." Over the
what?
depiction, listen up, over the depiction of Egyptian pyramids. And so once I saw that, I kind of felt like when I was in high school, it brought me back to when I was in high school. I was walking across the lawn, the eighth grade lawn or whatever, and this white dude called me a nigger as he walked by. I was so offended, like it was in my face. So for a bib to be sold like that online on Amazon, I understand Amazon has they can do that sort of thing. They can sell whatever they want, right? But doesn't mean it's okay.
Yeah, but if you take down one person's product because you don't like it or it doesn't necessarily represent the values of your company, then you have to take down everybody else's. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I don't
that don't
know.
represent the values.
Yeah, because I feel like in this situation, Amazon is kind of like Walmart. You know what I'm saying? It's an online shopping store where they sell a variety of products. Regardless of what the meaning of each product is, they know they make money from it, so they're just gonna sell it regardless. It's not necessarily meaning that they're trying to support the maker of the product. They're just selling it to make money. There's so many things on there that you can just go buy, and I'm almost sure that there's just like with H&M. Remember we were talking about this the last show. Like, how did this get past the QC? Like the QC personnel. Like clearly there's an issue that's going on with the black community and the white community, and somebody makes a shirt or a sweater or whatever the case may be that says cutest monkey in the jungle or coolest monkey in the jungle or whatever, and you're telling me that the QC person that is responsible for authorizing this did not do his research before they let it go live. It's kind of similar in this situation with Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're such a big company, they sell so many products to the point where, okay, well, how are we gonna necessarily QC these billions amount of products that's going through our I guess our online channel of sales? Like, we're not gonna look at everything. So
I get it.
Yeah.
And the result of it all is that Amazon eventually did apologize and they took that product down. So the fact that they, realized that they made a mistake, I'll still shop at Amazon.
Yeah, of course not. Well, I mean, in my opinion, honestly, I can't really put those two on the same in the same sentence, because remember with H&M's like a brick and mortar store. You can physically go to the mall and physically walk into an H&M. Compared to Amazon is purely online. You know how many stuff you can hide online? Like, people wouldn't find a certain URL link unless you specifically give that person in an email or on social media or a text message
and
that specific URL link.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think it's kind of difficult for Amazon to filter out all their products that they're trying to sell, because they're essentially a third party company. They don't really make half the products that they sell. Like, it's other individuals that are making this and they're just selling it through their store.
Exactly. Amazon is just a platform to sell other people's stuff, whereas H&M makes their stuff to sell it.
Exactly. And that's the only reason why I use.
Yeah, I wouldn't put those two in the same sentence.
Okay,
but I mean,
I get it.
I'm not saying it's okay for Amazon to do that, but I'm saying I understand how it slipped through the cracks.
Right. So the question is, are we cold turkey or not? Yes or no?
So, all right. I'm gonna let you say your point, Damani, but I want to state this before, and I'm the only reason why I'm saying this is because, you know what I'm saying, I kind of feel a certain type of way about this situation. Anyways, that's besides the point. So, this is how I feel about that, and I'm gonna ask you guys a question. So, if Nestle, say Nestle was the only product maker of water bottles or water period, right? And they put out some racist product, and they're the only ones you'd be able to get water from. Would you stop drinking water all of a sudden because they're a racist company?
it's okay. I got tap water.
No. Seriously, would you stop drinking water, or say toilet paper? Say
Should
they
I
sell
be
toilet
dry as
paper
the
too.
Sahara Desert?
Would you stop buying toilet paper from them? Yes or no? Would you stop buying toilet paper?
Yeah, of course. I'll buy toilet paper somewhere else.
I just said, if they were the only makers of toilet paper, would you stop buying toilet paper from them?
Well, I mean, you're putting me in a difficult position. Like,
So,
it's either
So
Yes. I have no choice. I'm not gonna wipe my ass
yeah,
with my
okay.
bare hands.
Exactly. You have no choice. I kind of see it in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these companies sells essential things that I need to, feel comfortable. Yes, they might be racist, but their products aren't racist. Their toilet paper is not gonna sit down and call me a nigga after I use it to wipe my ass with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What? No, that's yeah. No.
I'm saying though.
Bro,
That's not.
Well, but
That's
that's the
a.
worst
that's
example
no.
ever.
I'm
You're
No,
I'm
giving those
just
people
hold on. That's on a
All right, go
micro level right there.
yeah. But you
I am
guys are
talking in the sense of macro, where the money goes to and whose pockets that
regardless.
money it gets into to further develop that community. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I'm talking about
Yes.
economic injustice.
Okay, so
Yes.
regardless of where that money is going, you know what I'm saying? I still need my toilet paper. I still need my water bottle. I still need
Well, I
the
guess to
products
answer
they're
that,
making.
let's make some black-owned
Yeah.
motherfucking toilet paper. Then.
If you want
Yeah,
me,
there you
if
go.
you
That's the best answer
if
right
you
there.
want me to stop
Call
buying
that
their
shit.
product,
There's a bear shit in the woods. That's
if you
the label right
if
there.
if you want me to stop buying their products, you know what I'm saying? Make something that's better than them and that's black owned. Other than that, if they didn't personally call me a nigga, and I'm not supporting them, saying that they're the greatest company and yada 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 and whatever. Yeah, I have a problem with the stuff that they say, but at the same time, they do make something that I use. You know what I'm saying? So just
But
because they
but but I mean that's a hypothetical situation where you have no other options. So
no,
in
I
that
mean,
fake world, then yeah. But in the real world, no. I'm not gonna but give Timberland my money because they already told me what they think about me. I'm not gonna give H&M my money. They already told me what they think about me. I'm
no.
not giving Abercrombie and Finch none of
Check
those
this out.
companies my money. They
Check
already
this
told me what
out.
they think about me and people that look like me. I'm not giving them my money.
Check
I have
this
other
out.
options to go shop at.
Another perspective is, man, like just talking about things like this, it makes me feel that it's a it's a wonderful time to be black in America right now. So just for the fact that advertising companies want to use racism as a platform to gain visibility, that means that we as a people where we steadily have a presence in society, in the world. That's powerful. I
No,
feel
we
like it's an
definitely do.
incredible time to be black right now because we got the Black Panther movie coming out. First all black casted Marvel movie. Tell me what you guys think about
Yeah,
that. Are you guys excited to
that
watch the
that
movie?
is. Of course, that's amazing. Yeah, that's definitely a step in the right direction. But I was talking to one of my friends, Tony, about this the other day. There are little things that I kind of, after talking with Tony, there's some stuff that he brought up that I haven't thought about. Yes, it is an all black cast with an all black superheroes, and everybody in the whole movie and production of the movie is black, except for obviously a couple of white people, Spanish people that might be sprinkled into the
All right.
makeup, artists, whatever. But you got to remember that Black Panther was created by a white dude, so it's essentially still a white person speaking the black narrative.
Not necessarily, because even though a white person created the comic books, a white person did not write the actual movie, or direct the movie.
Well, that's
If
fine.
that's
He
correct.
didn't direct the movie, but he created that character. That's like talking about if the guy that made Superman is like, oh, I'm not going to give him credit or act like he had a a bigger impact on that specific character itself.
So I don't understand what's the problem. Even if a white person wrote the movie or a white person directed the movie, the people that's playing the part played the part based off of the knowledge of how their culture operated. You know what I'm saying? It was they stuck to the originality of the culture. It's not like they
Original,
took
yeah, they stuck to the originality of a fictional culture. Wakanda is not
it's
real.
not it's
All right.
not a fictional culture, Damani. A lot of the movies taken out of real context. It's not fake. It's not like they just decided, okay, we're gonna make up this fake African nation and just act like a start clucking and speaking a random language. Like they didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? They took a real culture and they made it into a movie. It might not be named the same thing, but it's taken from a real some type of real civilization. Like it's come from something, bro. It's not just
Yeah,
made up.
yeah. Well, no, no.
I'll
I
never
completely
forget,
understand
real
what you're
quick.
saying.
I'll never forget this quote that was on a wall in class. I forgot what class I was taking and the name of the professor, but it said, Originality no longer exists. Everything is an adaptation. Quote, unknown. I'll
Mm.
never forget that. And that applies to this very instance.
So you know what's funny? I was at work the other day, and I was leaving work, and me and my buddies, we were talking about Black Panther and all this, and this lady, she joined in the conversation, and she said that she believed what's going on in society right now, especially the movie that's coming out, and all these like black movements is low key reverse racism. And I was like, how is that reverse racism?
How?
I'm a little
How
confused.
did she
You know what I'm
explain
saying?
how what her point of view?
So
How?
so
I gotta hear
so
this.
I don't remember what she was saying. I I know it's probably a good thing that you listen to people when they oppose your view of things. It's probably a good thing for me to do that. But in this situation, I was a little caught off guard because we were talking about a movie, and all of a sudden this lady is talking about how that's reverse racism, and just all of these different movements is reverse racism, and it just confused me to the part where I just shut down and I walked away. You know what I'm saying? But my
That's so
response,
stupid. Reverse racism doesn't even exist. All right, well, go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
So
Introduce it.
my response to her was, I said to her, it's there's we're not we're not being racist towards white people. You know what I'm saying? Black people are just now realizing that the quality of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Black people are starting to love themselves. Rather than trying to bleach their skin, trying to perm their hair, trying to look like a white person. You know what I'm saying? They're
Bleach the
becoming
skin.
in love with themselves. Yeah. We're embracing our culture, and we're promoting our culture. It's not being reverse racist. It's not being racist to white people. It's just learning to love yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
Yeah.
somebody that has low self esteem. You know what I'm saying? They either try to emulate what their friends do, or they just destroy themselves. Instead of destroying our culture, black people are finally realizing how powerful our culture is. And bro, I got so passionate to the point where I had to walk away, man, because I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, why would you think that our society is being racist to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of stuff that you guys have done to black people in general, even Chinese, Hispanics, all the different races that are non-white, you know what I'm saying, are beyond reproach. You know what I'm saying? It's beyond
Yeah.
imagination. Like, you guys destroy cultures. You put people to slave. You put was it the Chinese or the Japanese, whichever. No, it's the Japanese. You put them to build the railways and
Yeah.
all
Build the
that stuff. You know what I'm
railroads.
saying? Yeah, exactly. And all of these countries, eventually pulled away from that, and they developed their own culture in their own country. You know what I'm saying? Black people are the only I want to say culture that has not gotten to that point yet. The African culture hasn't gotten to
Well,
that point
no,
yet.
no. We definitely had gotten to that point, but you gotta remember
Where,
throughout
Damani?
history. I
What
mean, everybody
what
knows the stuff that happened throughout history. All this
I
stuff.
was
Damani
saying
Every
name?
Black
time.
America, not Black
Well,
America.
no,
We
I'm
have
talking about
no
specifically
idea
Black America,
what.
100%.
Right. So
I'm
that's the
pretty sure
point.
you
I
guys
agree
know
with you,
about.
Damani.
No, I'm pretty sure you guys know about the Tulsa riots, right?
Yeah.
Black Wall Street.
Okay. Back in
All
the
right. Well,
day.
Tulsa.
Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, like 1940 something or
Yeah.
1930 something. There
Yeah,
was
but you're.
Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. But
Mhm.
I'm getting to the point of where you're talking about where black people are just now starting to understand our culture and where we sit within the frame of economy
It's
and
no, you're
society.
so you're being more specific to America. I'm talking about global. I'm talking about being black in general.
As far as a
Everybody
mindset,
everybody is, if you're
Okay, okay.
black, you're starting to embrace your blackness. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah, you're
starting
starting
to
to love
embrace your
yourself.
yeah, you're starting to love yourself rather than
like Kendrick Lamar said, I love myself.
yeah, and
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than trying to be a completely different race. And I think from this point on, that's only gonna
Only gonna
allow
get
a
more.
race to become better. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the Chinese, look at the Japanese, look at the Spanish. Like, all of these different races, they have a part of this world that is flourishing. You know what I'm saying? Like China has their country that's making billions of money. Japan has their country that's making billions of money. You know what I'm saying? There's so many Spanish countries in the world. Like, what are the original races? White, black, Asian, and Hispanics, right? All the
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Hispanics, they
according to all those guys, yeah.
yeah, but I'm saying though, all those culture except the black culture has some they own something, you know what I'm saying? They own a
Yeah.
piece of the pie, you know what I'm saying? And you can literally see each piece of their pie. The part of the pie that the black culture owns is very small, if not non-existent. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
that's only thing that I was trying to get at. Like black people are starting to realize that we are a powerful culture and we have influences in
In
vast
everything.
majority
No,
of
bro,
the,
we,
of
we
the world.
influence the entire planet, man. We
Exactly.
influence the entire planet. Reggae to hip hop to style of clothes people wear to people getting dreadlocks now to people break dancing. Now you can't even say the word break dance without thinking of a little small Asian dude doing a head spin. So it's like we influence the entire planet, but we don't get the respect for it. Now we're starting to understand, like Mike, like you were just saying, we're starting to love ourselves more. We're starting to accept our blackness now. We're not straightening our hair, getting bleach cream. I mean, there's still some people doing that, but for the majority, especially from even just the U.S. or around the world, is starting, like Mike was saying, we're starting to accept our blackness, and not even
Yeah,
just only accept our blackness, but taking back what other people have taken away from us. Like I know you guys
exactly.
seen that Nefertiti bust that they
Oh
unveiled.
yes, yes. I was like, what is
I was like,
that?
yo,
Come
this
on.
this lady's white as like white as snow, and she's from Africa. It's like, come on. First off, that doesn't make any sense. White people could not survive in that area at that time because first off, sunscreen didn't exist, and white people get sunburned very easily and can get cancer pretty easy from the sun. So, and Africa's a pretty hot place with a lot of sun. So, just based off of that, Nefertiti cannot be white. Can't be.
And that
And
was
and then
in
they also
it.
got the hieroglyphics off of the wall, and they also have busts that the Egyptians made of Nefertiti herself, showing that she's black with dreads. Like, come on now.
Yeah, yeah, I know
Yeah,
that, bro. It's whitewashing, bro. You know that. That's all that is, bro. It's
of
whitewashing.
course,
Cause
that's what white people do, bro. I was talking about this with my brother the other day. Like, how long do you think it's gonna take before white people start saying that Michael Jackson was white?
that's funny.
Well, wait, gotta wait a little
I
bit because
yeah, that's like like what do you mean, like in another 50, 60 years or even more even closer
nah,
than that?
closer than that, man. Probably like the next 5, 10 years, bro. People remember, man, the U.S. citizens, bro. Even though people have a short memory span, a short memory, they don't remember. If it's not like something like 9/11 that we talk about all the time, over and over and over, people tend to forget. Like
All right.
perfect example, George W. Bush was a pretty shitty president, right?
Yeah.
Everybody remembers him as a shitty president. He started two wars that we're still in right now,
Yeah.
Afghanistan and Iraq, and then other little random wars popping up out of nowhere, Sudan and or whatever. All those wars that he crashed the market back in 2008 that Obama had to get us out of. So everybody remembers, if they actually truly remember what happened, George W. Bush was a pretty shitty president. But because now we have Trump in office now, I'm starting to see people comparing Trump to Bush,
To
and they're like,
Bush.
"Oh, I really wish Bush was president again."
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
remember.
no,
I've
bro.
seen that.
Yeah, it's like, man, these people got really short memory spans, man. They're not remembering, dude. It was not even that long ago. Probably what, 10 years ago?
Yeah, but the money
Because
you
bro,
have to remember too, bro. Like, look at the people that's probably saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, those are the people that probably voted for Trump. You know what I mean? Like, I
yeah,
almost
true.
guarantee you that the same people that's saying that crap is saying that Trump, when he first got elected, is doing all these miraculous, crazy stuff. Like the one that they dropped a couple days ago, talking about how he raised or he lowered unemployment for African Americans by, I think it was like by 2% or something like that within this year.
Yeah, yeah, I see
Did you
that.
see that?
Yeah,
What
foolishness.
are you talking about? I didn't see that. Tell me a little more.
So basically, Damani, did you hear what she said?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Mike. You were
So
talking.
so basically, Trump, he came on air talking about how, I guess he was doing a rebuttal to the Democrat, because the Democrat were coming at him for his speech that he made in the State of the Union and all this crap, and he basically said that he lowered unemployment for African American community, which Obama did while he was in power, and it was still going down, after he left power. So he had nothing to do with it, but he took
Yeah.
the credit for that, and he didn't say anything about, Obama. Actually, he's been doing that a lot lately. Everything
He's
that
doing that for
Obama did, he's
everything,
taking
bro.
he's been taking credit for it. Like every single thing
Exactly.
that Obama has done, he's taking credit for.
Well, that's the thing that most people don't really remember or understand with government, especially in a presidential position. Most of the stuff that these presidents are doing, it takes like 2 or 3 years before you
Yeah,
start actually reaping the
exactly.
benefits of what they do. So
So as
most
soon
people, yeah, most
as
people
soon
like you were just saying, people don't get it. They just think, oh, Trump is in power and he's only been in power for like 6 months, and look how much he got done. When all this positive stuff that he claims is him doing is spillover from what Obama did.
yeah. But
Just like you were saying.
the crazy part about it is, okay, so everybody knows that what Obama did or what he set in place, and don't no matter
Or
how,
they should. They should know, but most
or
people
they
don't know.
should
Come on.
know. Yeah, they should
They,
know.
they don't know.
And no matter how good it is, and how successful it's made our country, doesn't matter what he has done, bro. He will never get credit for it for the people that support Trump. And you've seen it from time to time, bro. Like CNN's interviewed people, and what they say, just as long as a Muslim is in power, or just as long as a Democrat isn't in power, I don't care.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they'll vote.
What?
They'll vote in a damn child molester. They don't care.
What? They don't care. Like,
Horrible.
do you
So
understand? Like,
backwards.
I don't understand that, bro. So you rather an idiot run the country than somebody that's intelligent, somebody that actually is trying to benefit you. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to make money for the rich and the wealthy, he's trying to benefit the lower and the middle class. He's trying to give us money back in our pockets. He's trying to, what I'm saying, put food on our table. He's trying to make healthcare better for us. All of that stuff affordable for us. But yet still you don't want him in power because he's black or he's a Muslim or his name isn't Bush.
And he's not a
or his name-
Muslim.
like,
He's not a Muslim. He just has a funky name. That's all.
so have you ever seen the I think it was when McCain was running and he was doing a speech, and this old lady stood up to ask a question, and
Yeah. She was like, he's a Muslim though. Isn't
yeah,
he?
she's a Muslim,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I saw that.
man, I give McCain so much credit, even though I didn't vote for him, and I wasn't really a fan. I give him so much credit, bro, because he hit her back with, he's not a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? Don't say that. He's not a Muslim.
Yeah.
Don't call
He's a
him
pretty-
that. You know what I'm
he's a
saying?
pretty
He's
good guy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, that's bro. I feel like that is exactly how politicians should communicate with their supporters. Rather than giving them the fuel to make incorrect statements. He should correct them when they say things that is incorrect, especially when they're asking them questions. He should correct them. Okay, sir. Well, that is incorrect. My opponent, is not so and so and so. This is actually his views, based off of what he has told me, or based off of my research, or based off of what he has said to the media. You know what I'm saying? Not this
Yeah.
made up alternative facts that you're saying, or you know what I mean? Like that, bro. That always irks me,
So
man. And I'm
backwards,
like,
man. It's so
I feel like if politicians would do that whenever they're speaking to their supporters, man, that gives you more respect for them as a person, as the opposition, and just as a politician in general, rather than them saying all this bogus crap. You know what I'm saying? Like a reality
Yeah.
TV show. You know what I'm saying? Like, no,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
unnecessary.
these stupid one-liners, lock her up, drain
Yeah.
the swamp, and then all this stuff that he's not even doing. Like he made the swamp deeper himself by hiring damn everybody that he's relatives with and that he's ever hung out with on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid. So it's just like, I feel like back in the day, politics used to be a little bit more. Not even back in the day, bro. It's like 5 years ago. Politics used to be a little bit more respectable, but nowadays, well, not even nowadays. I would just say like now that Trump is president, it's kind of giving people that reality check. Like, look, man, just cause this guy says these stupid one-liners that sound cool, they're cool sound bites, but it's actually warping the minds of citizens that feel like, oh, now that we got this our guy in the White House, that they can run around and either like beat minorities over the head, start snatching hijabs off of women, start spray painting what racist stuff on synagogue walls, go beat up some black kid just because he's in the wrong neighborhood. And this is in New York that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's just New York by itself. The state where everybody's like, oh, they're so Democrat, they're so progressive, bro. Like 2 weeks ago, a couple like four or five blocks away from my house, you got skinheads spray painting all this racist nigger stuff on the sides of churches. This is New York I'm talking about, in Brooklyn. So people need to. That's just one thing that bothers me. It's like, oh, it's the North. There's no racist people in the North. It's like they're racist. They're just not telling you to your face they're racist.
Yeah.
Number one, and then yeah, and that's pretty much it, man. I feel like these people just need to remember, just need to pay attention to what's going on. Not enough people pay attention.
It's funny that you bring that up because I think it's interesting to see these companies that are coming out with these different logo, like we were talking about earlier with H&M dropping the shirt on the little black kid that says coolest monkey in the jungle. That's what it said, right? Coolest monkey in the jungle, or
that's definitely what it said.
Yeah,
definitely what it said.
So my thing is, what about all the stuff like these companies has came out with, 10, 20 years ago that would be borderline racist now, but back then,
bro, they come out with stuff that's like straight up racist. Timberland, straight up racist.
But
Tommy
I'm saying,
Hilfiger,
the stuff that they came out with before that that no one ever said anything about. Do you ever think that may be some type of message that they're trying to send to people, or they're
man? I think 100% it is definitely a message. They're trying to tell black people they don't want us wearing their stuff, buying their. They're trying to tell us that our money's no good. That's what Tommy Hilfiger was doing.
Like what kind of message?
Yeah, send a message. Talking about? A negative message, right, Mike?
Yeah, well, I always I'm trying to see if, these companies, are they purposely doing that to, influence other white people into thinking that this is funny and this should be continued, like this is how we should always treat black people, or is it something that, they, like right now especially, they realize that the black culture has had enough, and now they're starting to push all these stuff out even more. They're being more obvious with it, to where either they're trying to cause some type of, I don't know, race war, or what I'm saying?
I don't feel they're trying to do the race war.
I just think it's about the money, because they're low key. I gotta give it to these advertising companies. They're kind of smart because they're maximizing on the the power and influence of social media to generate buzz. Like that's a business move. So you got to think, to Michael's point, back then, these are people with different mindsets towards enslavement, right? And so in this new era, it's, I guess, behaviors that are passed down from one family to another. So there are groups of people that still have those similar beliefs, but there are also groups of people who do not. And what I mean by do not, they're either, lovers of people now, or they're just after the money. And I think that it just kind of falls into the category of it's all about the money. And that's where, you get from either your spiritual aspect, or whatever mentality you have, money is the root of all evil kind of thing,
I don't feel like the money is the root of all evil. I feel like money just brings out what kind of person. It shows what kind of person you truly are. Because once you start getting, once you start getting money, because money can be good, it can be bad. It can clothe the homeless, or it can kill the homeless. Depends on what you do with it. Money is just going to exaggerate what kind of personality that person already has. So, in my opinion, if H&M and Abercrombie and Finch and Walmart and all these companies all of a sudden out of quote unquote nowhere start doing these racist things, it's just a underlining of what they truly feel about either us, Middle Easterns, Asians, whoever, whatever minority group that they might be disrespecting. Because if those companies didn't have or weren't in the positions that they are in to start making these either statements or putting out certain products, and and then I'm pretty sure I know that they understand that they're affecting people the way they're massively affecting people's lives, obviously, because
Oh,
we all
absolutely.
see the yeah, we all see the clapback from all this horrible stuff that these companies are doing.
And I'm
So
glad you
I
just
just
mentioned clap back right now because we all know what happens when, your back's against the wall. What we going to do? We got to fight, right? And so
yep,
that's why it's an
that's what you got to
amazing
do.
time to be
That's
black
what
right now
happens, man.
because we are vocal in a
You
way
know,
that we could never have been
I
vocal
just feel like
hundreds of
that's just
years
the position we're
prior.
in right now in today's society. Like Ness, like you were talking about, social media has really
Oh,
changed the
hold on
whole
now.
way
I know you
society's
guys know me
working.
on a
Now the
personal.
little guy
Hold on.
can't get
I want
trampled
to say
on
something.
and told.
I know you guys know me on a personal level, but I introduce myself as A motherfucking K. Not no Ness. Where did I say Ness on the podcast?
The money, the money. Hello?
Did he hang up on me?
No, I think his internet's dead or something.
I hope it's the internet. I'm like, did I say something wrong?
Hold on a second. Okay, so a little bit of technical difficulties. Continuing on. So
No, bro, don't say that. We could chop it in, man. Don't say that.
yeah. So so what I wanted to ask you, Damani, this is this is actually very kind of not off topic, but in the same realm. But all right, so do you support Warner Brothers? Do
Yeah, I
you
like
watch
some of
their
the stuff
movie?
that they do.
Okay. All right, so you remember Power Rangers, right?
Of course. Who
Yeah.
doesn't?
What do you remember about the original Power Rangers?
Oh my gosh, man! Now we're gonna go back. To
I'm just
the,
saying that
the
the
original Power
original
Rangers was
Power
pretty
Ranger was
damn racist.
super racist, right? That was probably, you know what I'm saying? That was probably the most, I guess, most politically correct racist way
Yeah,
you can be on TV without
yeah.
being
Without being blatantly
enormously.
racist.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of what I was talking about when I was saying back in the day. If you should take the stuff that was happening back then and put it right here now, you know, what would be the repercussions versus then? You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff
Mm,
that was going on back then, you know what I'm saying? Even if you said anything, it wouldn't be like taken off air instantly. They would probably say something. They would, get in a debate on whether or not that's really racist or if it's hurting the feelings of somebody else or whatever, and then they'll change the content the next day. They wouldn't necessarily cancel it or take it off air or whatever I guess platform it was on. They wouldn't necessarily just take it off the next day. It would be a gradual step versus now if you act on
yeah,
something,
it's
it's
just
instantly
yeah,
either you're
yeah.
you're fired, either you're canceled, which is a good thing, and I love that. I love that.
I don't know. I don't know if I would say that's a good thing because it's just like two extremes, man. It's like, yeah, well, like you were
No,
saying, back in the day, they could either do it and get away with it, or if they did it now, everybody's fired and everything's canceled. That's like
I
it's so
no, Damani.
extreme.
I think
Very
I
extreme.
think that's no because there needs to be something there needs to be a stop to it, bro. There needs to be a point to where people realize that they can't just say things and get away with it. They can't just do things because they're rich, because their skin color, they're white. They can't just do this and expect no repercussions for it. And I think the fact that we're at this point to where if something like that goes down, there is a consequence for it, and it's an extreme consequence. I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying? Like especially when it's going into the pockets of somebody. You know, if
Mm-hmm.
I know that if you call me a nigga or you say something, call my wife a name or you just say something that disrespects me in like and multiple people in a way that it's broadcasted towards millions of people and they know that it was disrespectful, I want to go in your pockets and take all that money back that you used to, I don't know, produce that content to disrespect me with, and whatever
Mm-hmm.
other monies you got. Like, I I want to hurt you financially, and I think
Bad.
I think that's the best way to do it, man. Like for that, I mean, like in H&M's I guess their repercussions, the consequence that happened with them, I don't think it's as bad because they're still making money, they're still selling clothes, they still have all their stores up, So
Yep.
it didn't really make that indent on them. But companies like, for instance, New York Life, and I think I was talking to you about this, even though it was way back in the day, but New York Life used to insure black slaves, dude. Can you imagine that?
Back in the day,
Back
but
in the
like
day.
I
when
didn't know
like
that.
1800s.
But when slavery would exist, they used to like insure black slaves, and there's a case where I don't want to speak on it. This is kind of more of a, I'm paraphrasing what I saw, but basically this lady was trying to look up her lineage from New York Life, and they were the only company that had any type of history on her family tree, and they didn't want to release the documentation to her because they didn't want everybody else knowing that they were responsible for being slave insurers. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
want basically people knowing that. Finally, they got a court order to release the information, and that's how it came out that these guys were freaking insurance slavers, and it's crazy. Just like with Wells Fargo, they finance slavery too, and I did not know that.
Mm-mm.
I did not know that
And
Wells
then so
Fargo
did
was a,
Chase Bank too, right?
yeah, Chase is another one. Like all of
Mm.
these companies, bro. And that going back to what I was talking about earlier when I was saying, about the one company providing a product if you're going to instantaneously stop using it. Yeah, these companies provide good services and they might be racist company, you know, but at the same time, I do believe in second chances, and
What?
in
Hold
this
on. Weren't you just talking
listen,
about
listen, 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 listen,
you want to
listen,
go in their
listen.
pockets?
No,
All
no,
right,
no,
go.
no. Listen. You gotta let me finish,
All
bro.
right, what go?
You gotta let me finish. I do believe in
Go.
second chances. I do believe in second chances, but with certain things that some of these companies have done, man, I
They
don't.
don't
You
deserve a
can't.
second
You
chance, man.
can't. Yeah, you can't come back from that. You know what I mean? You can't come back from
And
that. But
the only
in the
reason those
instant,
companies are still even open is because most people don't even understand the history behind these
it's
companies.
it's not only that
Like,
most people don't understand it, bro. It's money. You know what I'm saying? They're paying all of this money to people to basically put the fold over your eyes.
yeah,
They're
true.
still being supported by these big businesses, these big dogs, basically. Having keeping their money in there. Okay, you guys were racist. Oh, my family was too. Oh, I don't care. It don't matter. Just as long as you're doing well with my money, you're making sure I'm still making money, I'm good to go. All those black people, who gives a fuck about them? That's basically what's going on in their head, bro. Because they don't care, But
Yeah.
in an instance where if Trump gets disrespected or, one of their little buddies gets disrespected, oh, bro, you
All these
disrespected
white people losing
Bobby.
their mind.
Yeah, you disrespected Matthew over there. He's my financial advisor. Oh, I can't support you anymore, man. Or we go bowling together. Or we go
Yeah.
golfing together. And you disrespected his wife. I can't deal with you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you disrespected my cook. Oh, you disrespected.
You're a damn cook. But bro, come on, we already know that those types of people are super hypocritical about
Yeah,
everything. They're
but
super
that's
duper
bro.
hypocritical.
But that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be like that. It should be a one platform for everybody. There shouldn't be a bar set for each and every individual. I guess
Yeah.
offense. Like
Has
there
a
should be
different
one
a
bar.
different
Yeah,
bar.
yeah. There should be one bar for or one bar for every mishap. This is the consequence, whether or not you disrespected that person or that person. This is always going to be the
Mm-hmm.
consequence. You know what I'm saying? If you're a
Yeah,
racist,
and that's what
if
it's
you're a
supposed to
racist,
be.
yeah, if you're a racist, we're gonna pull your show. We're gonna pull your ad. If you're a sexual predator, we're gonna pull your ad. You know what I'm saying? We might as well ban you. Period. You know what I'm saying, from our company, like stuff like that. There needs to be some type of boundaries placed, man, for
Yeah.
every company, and
Well,
not because
well,
they have money,
just
not
because they
because
shouldn't be doing whatever that action is, they shouldn't be doing that.
yeah. But I
Yeah,
mean,
whatever it is. But it's definitely coming to that point. I mean, nowadays it's
and
definitely coming to that point.
and that's why I was saying I love that. I love that. You know, despite what you may think that it's too extreme, I do love that. It's amazing. What do you think,
Yeah.
Ness? Anessa, AK?
There we go.
AK.
AK.
You've been a little quiet this whole time. What's up with that?
Well,
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah, Anessa.
Blaze Kildare over here, he's my husband, so he knows me the best he knows. I like structure and organization. No shade on you guys. Like, I ain't got an umbrella next to me or nothing like that, but this is y'all's show. I'm just letting y'all talk. I had a few points here and there to, a few questions to ask you guys, and you guys have answered very well. Very lengthy, mind you, but very well. Thanks, guys. AK over here. You guys are awesome.
Well, no, I got a question for you, Anessa. How do you feel about these severe punishments for people that most of these allegations are just allegations and there's no proof behind, whether it be sexual allegations, racist allegations? These people are getting fired on the spot. Do you feel that they should be fired on the spot, or do you think that they should be a little bit more lenient towards them?
That's a great question.
As a woman, let's hear what your answer is.
Well, can you give me a specific example?
Okay, a specific example would be Bill O'Reilly on Fox News was pretty much had sexual harassment cases for on him for like umpteen years, and Fox just kept letting him pay off settlements to shut these ladies up,
Or
and
go
then
to
they
our
eventually got
culture.
to the point.
Go to our culture. Talk about Cosby, Bill Cosby, somebody
Huh?
that everybody
Oh, Bill.
knows.
Okay, all right. So Bill Cosby. Well, I was just using Bill
Well,
O'Reilly. Just okay. It
it's
could be
still a
any dude,
question.
any
It's still
male
a question, though, if
that
Bill
has
Cosby
sexual
really
allegations.
did it. Right. So
Okay, well,
you're
that's what I'm
talking about.
saying. But if there's all these allegations, but there's no set proof, like 100% proof on paper, because remember, Bill Cosby's accusers are just accusers. There's no proof. Like, there's not a piece of paper that they can look at and say, "Oh, Bill and
Hold on,
Janie
guys.
was."
I'm
That's
coughing.
fine. Like Bill and Janie was hanging out last week, and then this happened to him. There's no like set proof. That's the only thing about that. But
So, so while she's getting some water, cause she has a frog in her throat apparently.
he's
Um,
hacking up along.
yeah. So this is how I feel about that situation, man. It's kind of hard
Is it too
because
drastic? I feel like it's too drastic, man. It's way too drastic.
whoa,
It's just got to be
whoa.
all right. I feel like this. Like how you were talking about the Power Rangers earlier. Like they can get away with that stuff earlier in time, but nowadays people get fired immediately. I feel like as the pendulum swings, it's gonna start to ease up a little bit. It's not gonna be as
So
drastic, but we're not gonna let people get away with that stuff. We have to find that healthy balance in between.
all right, so she's about to come answer your question, but I want to answer. I want to say something real quick about that. When it comes on to a situation like that,
No, go ahead.
it's really it's this is a kind of a particular situation, and this is talking about sexual assault and rape, and I think that's a very
Mm-hmm.
sensitive topic when it comes on to the consequences that happens to somebody that actually does it. In these cases where it's like
Mm-hmm.
40, 50, 60 women that's coming forward to say, this guy raped them, this guy touched them or did whatever he did, it's one of those scenarios where, okay, you're saying to yourself, if 60 people or 60 women are saying this thing about one person and the other person that's being accused is saying that this did not happen, it's kind of hard to take the side of the accused especially when there's so many people that's saying that about them.
Yeah, okay,
However,
but then how about this from the other
hold on,
side? Okay, no, go ahead, go ahead.
However, he is a famous person, and a lot of these cases results in them getting these accusers or the people that are doing their accused, getting paid out, getting millions of dollars just to go sit down somewhere and just leave them alone or stop saying this. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to really believe or know what to believe, especially when both sides have kind of different criteria following with them to determine which one is telling the truth. And then you don't know the stories. You don't there's always two sides to a story, and then there's a third side which is the actual exactly.
The truth.
Then there's a third side which is actually the truth. So you never know. And I'll let Anessa continue, aka continue, give her opinion.
I love how he just went off on a tangent. Like, that's a whole different subject what he was talking about. But to bring it back, a rewind, to answer your question, I believe in basic human rights. And I think it's different when you either, steal something, or you take drugs, overdose, or like those type of things are forgivable. But the ones that are not are
hold on, let it go. Sexual
right,
harassment.
are things done onto another person in a physical way, more on a macro level as far as hitting their spirit, like, and that could be raping, that could be bringing watermelon to work. Like, I watched a video of this woman. She sued this other woman. This black lady sued a white lady because the white lady for 2 weeks straight brought nothing but Kentucky Fried Chicken and watermelon to work. Offering
but is it for that? Is it for her to eat? Just a white lady's gonna eat by herself?
Offering her black lady coworker watermelon and fried chicken every day, and this black lady is saying no every single day. That's
day. Oh, okay. Look,
in a way to where it's literally stabbing someone. Like
that is. I agree with that.
They should be fired for that. Things like that.
Nah, that's way too sensitive. What you can easily do is just pick apples to apples. If she wants to get watermelon and chicken, just come to work with a bunch of mayonnaise and meatloaf and keep offering her that.
Yeah, but Damani, that's being childish. That's
no, that's not being. Okay, hold on. How is that being childish? But somebody bringing a bunch of watermelon and chicken and offering that to you every single day. You don't think that's childish and deserves some kind of repercussion?
Yeah, but then that's when.
But not necessarily being fired.
Yeah, but that's when you bring up. That's when you bring up the point where I was. That's when you bring up the point where I was talking about earlier with the lady coming up to me and saying reverse racism. That's reverse racism. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to stoop to their level, Damani. Yeah. The whole point of it is just like Michelle Obama says: when they go low, we go high, bro.
Low, you go high. Well, I mean that does kind of make sense.
Too, I think it's either being stupid or
childish. You have to be either or. You gotta be. It's like if you try to take the high road, you get somebody fired, but you get that person fired, and that person goes to social media and talks about, "Oh, I got fired for offering my coworker food," because they're gonna start twisting the words up.
You gotta realize too, Damani. A lot of these people, they have not been raised in the way that we have. You know what I'm saying? We have a culture. There's ways that our parents raised us to respect other people's culture. Some white people, they actually have no idea that they're offending you when they do some of the stuff that they do. They really don't. True. It's like already ingrained in their blood, their bones, just to be the way they are. And
so ingrained in them, they don't understand what they're doing.
They don't understand, and then no matter how much you explain it to them, they will never see your point of view. And some of them, it's just hard for them to understand. They just can't fathom why it's so wrong for them to do that. Why is it so bad? Why does it hurt your feelings? Or why is it racist at all? You know what I'm saying? They just don't get it. And,
Yeah.
people.
That's the thing. When you got those kind of people that just don't get it, that's when you got to start trying to talk sense into them. That's when I meet those kind of people, I'd like to have conversations with them just so I can, one, find out where their mindset is, and two, find out if I want to spend any more time wasting talking to this person. So
I see what
that's
you're
my
saying.
reason when I'm talking to those kind of people. Like, okay, like back in the day, 2 or 3 years ago, I had running my own company. It was me and my business partner. He's a white dude. He's a tall, bald, chubby white guy. Used to call him Mr. Baby because he looked like a little baby, but he was cool. He was a super cool guy. But like you were saying, Mike, white people are doing this, I mean, quote unquote, racially insensitive stuff, and they don't realize that they're doing it. This guy for about a year, and we would also run a company together. So we were around each other 24/7, 7 days a week, all day, every day. So we starting to understand each other a good amount. So I remember one day we were driving to work, and we were talking, and he was like, "Man, Damani, man, you speak so intelligently, you speak so well, so eloquently, you hold
I think
yourself
I
up
remember you
so well."
telling me that.
Yeah, yeah, like, yo, you hold yourself up so well. You're not really black. Like, what does that mean to him? Like, what does that mean? So necessarily, according to him, to be black, I gotta be stupid, talk slack jaw. Hey, y'all, come down the street, eat some cornbread. I gotta talk like that. I gotta be unintelligent. I gotta sag my pants, and I gotta just be a nigger, essentially. So a lot of this is one thing that I've up all my many years up until living on this earth up until now. The thing is that a lot of white people, they get black people and niggers mixed up. I'm pretty sure some people have heard that stand up of from Chris Rock where he clearly says the description of how black people act, and it clearly has a description on how niggers act. And what most, if you haven't seen that stand up, go on YouTube, type it in, Chris Rock, black people versus niggers. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Perfect example. Most white people, in what I've seen in my experience, to be black is to be what black people would call niggers. Like, you don't own niggers. You don't own nothing. Buy some Jordans. You don't even own your house. You don't have a car. You don't have a job. You don't hold yourself to any certain kind of standard. You don't speak eloquently. You don't have any kind of intelligence. A nigger. White people, when they hear black person, that's what they think you're supposed to act like. Supposed to act like a nigger. If you act like anything other than a nigger, they don't consider you as black. In conversations with any white person that I've ever met throughout my entire life, that's the summary that I've come up with. Because every time I ask them that, like, what do you mean when you're saying I speak so eloquently? If I don't speak eloquently, what am I supposed to sound like? Well, what level of intelligence do you think I'm supposed to have? And every time they always say you're not really black, meaning of
You,
under the
you,
bar of
so
quality.
So, it's funny that you're talking about that because that goes back to what I was saying earlier about, how black people are starting to embrace themselves and they're starting to love themselves more. And one of the things that I remember me and my buddy was talking about is how, whenever you get on the phone and you're talking to another person, especially having to do with work, the black person always talk about speaking like a white person, like speaking white.
Yeah,
I'm saying
speaking with
it's not.
intelligence.
Yeah, it's not even. Oh, I'm acting professionally. It's speaking white. Like I always misunderstood what that meant for the longest time because I always thought you know me, Damani. I'm from Jamaica, so I speak patois, and then anytime my parents would tell me to speak properly, it means just speaking, plain English. Not they
Mm-hmm.
never say speak white, they say speak properly. Because patois in Jamaica is basically broken English. That's like speaking in slang in the United States. You instead of enunciating your words and saying the correct form of the word, you break them
Everything kind
up.
of slurs together. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. So in Jamaica, it's patois, and when my parents, they raised me to obviously embrace my culture, but on the other hand, they wanted me to be able to speak in a professional manner. So if I'm talking to somebody, especially in a professional setting, they want that person to be able to respect me and understand what I'm saying, you know, in order to communicate back their response or whatever the case may be. So it was so funny when I came to United States and I'd be on the phone and my friends would always say, "Oh man, you were you talking to your boss or you're talking to whoever and you're speaking white? Why you always speak white when you get on the phone?" I'm like, "What do you mean speaking white? Why is that speaking white? I'm
I'm
speaking
trying to get hired.
I'm speaking properly." And then, bro, it's so funny because over the years I started to adopt that. Like I would say that anytime I get on the phone and like I'll joke around with my friends. Yeah, I just got on the phone with an interview or with my supervisor. Whenever talking to a professional person, you gotta put on your white voice. Now I completely understand why some people say that, man. Is because when you've been raised in a culture to just like what you were talking about where there's a difference between niggas and just somebody that's black and they don't do the most.
Mhm.
Growing up in an environment where that exists and you have a white person that doesn't see you as an equal, they see you as either a nigga or if you're educated at all and whatnot, then clearly you're not black. There's something
Yeah, yeah,
you're out of the ordinary.
there's
Something must
something.
be wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have some mix, and you gotta be
Yeah,
white
yeah,
somewhere. No matter how dark your skin is, for some reason I think you got a little bit of white in you. You know what I mean? Like that. That is
yeah.
crazy to me. That's insane. Like why? Why would you think that? Why can't you just think, oh, you're professionally or you're educated person or you know what I'm saying? Like I respect that the fact that we can have a conversation and you don't seem unintelligent. Period. That
Hey,
should be
man.
it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
but
That's
that's never
definitely.
the
Yeah.
case.
But though, that's one thing you got to remember about some people, man. No matter how mature some people might seem, psychologically, there's a lot more, and so much more people are immature than they are mature, meaning that they don't understand what they're saying and how it impacts certain people around them. They're just blabbing off at the mouth.
Yeah, you're right.
Kind of
You are
bad.
totally right. And
Yeah,
despite
and
how
and one thing I feel like about that is like white people nowadays, like how you were saying earlier, how black people are starting to love themselves and love their blackness, their hair and their skin and our lips and our big butts and whatever. The rest of the world loves everything about us. Just be fake. Let's
oh
just
yeah.
be real about it. They love everything
But
about
that
us. They love our dreads. They love our big butt. They love our big lips. They love our big boobs. They love our big hands. They love our hair. They love the dreads. Everything. The
everything.
braids, cornrows, everything. They love everything about black people. They just don't like black people.
Bro, you know what's
Let me say that
funny?
again. They love everything about black people. They just
They
don't
just
like
don't like
black
like
people.
do you see how stupid that sounds, Damani? Do you understand how stupid that's bro, you go to the Netherlands and the Netherlands love black people, bro.
Yeah,
Like they love black people. Like I don't know what it
there
is.
definitely are some countries you can go to like Germany, Netherlands, Denmark. They love black people over there.
So it's funny that you say that, bro. 'Cause this one lady, I think she's from I don't know how to say that country, but I've she's been on TV a bunch of times now, getting interviewed and whatnot. She
Yeah.
originally was a white lady and she got her skin I guess darkened. So she got injections
Oh,
to where she was completely black. She
yeah. I've
changed
seen
her
it
hair
before. She got
out.
like fake.
Yeah, she got like big old titties. She got her lips done. She got her nose done. She basically to turn herself into a black person. And
Mm-hmm.
they've been doing interviews on her, and she said, "I identify with being black." Like she has a little accent and thing that's going on. Like it sounds like she's from like Slovenia, but it's not. It's I can't remember how to say that country, but
Mm-hmm.
she they're interviewing her and she's saying that she identifies with being black and she talks about how she's black, she feels like she's black, and they try to argue with her is that how can you say that, like you have never dealt with the issues that black people deal with, and she's arguing back with them that yes she has, she's been discriminated against, and the people are looking at her like, what, you're a white lady, what are you talking about, like the
You
the
black.
the, anch- the anchors
You talking
the
about?
anchors the anchors on I think it was NBC almost fell out the chair, man, because she was like, this lady has to be joking, like why is she even on my damn show? Like, take this damn lady off my show, man. And then she went on Maury, and she did the same thing. And I'm just looking at this lady like, is she serious? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you are just
And
trying to seek attention. Like, why would
Yup,
you?
definitely,
you-
man.
I don't. I know it's trying to look like us is like a fad thing now. Everybody wants to do it. They either want to look like us or they want to steal our culture and then say it was theirs or say they're the ones
Yeah,
that created
vulture,
it.
culture vultures, man.
Yeah,
talk,
but which is
talk
fine.
about,
Which is fine
talk about
because
goddamn Elvis made rock and roll my
yeah,
ass.
which is fine because without us, bro, what I'm saying, there will be nothing entertaining in this world, and we'll always find ways to make our life much more entertaining, much better. And I just love the fact that all over this world, bro, everybody's finally starting to realize just the craziness has been going on for years. Like their eyes are slowly opening. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more work to be done, but at least people are starting to are starting to see the issues that's going on in this world. Like that's amazing to me, and I love that. I was talking to Ness the other day, and she was talking about how she wants to
Mm-hmm.
support the blacks and just black businesses, and she was like, what, because she saw me buy something, and she's like, you never really was all into this movement like I was. And I was like, first of all, Ness, I've always been black. You just started to become black, like just started to realize that you were black. Like we were talking, and which is true. Like
Yeah.
I've been born dark skinned Jamaican all my life. Ness is like this light skinned, beautiful honey. Always get what she wants, basically. There's nothing wrong with that. You got nothing to say about that, Anessa?
I
AK.
said my name was AK. Thank you.
Okay,
Tamani. Thank
AK.
you.
I'm sorry. Nothing to say
There you
about
go.
that, AK.
I hope this stuff
AK.
gets scratched out of the mix because y'all just going on and on, on and on.
Anyways, well, yeah. Well, speaking of on and on, we have come to the end of the segment, and I'm just gonna let Damani say his last few words. I've
My
already
last.
said mine, and
My last. Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
just gonna
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna quiet my mouth because apparently I'm talking too much. All right, bro, you're up.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's go. All right, man. I just had a brain fart.
Hey, so
All right,
before
guys.
before we end it out, the next show we're gonna talk about beating your kids, and if you should still do it. We got some
Now.
stories. At least I know I got some damn stories to tell you about
I got
my
some goddamn
beating.
stories. We could go right now.
No, we gonna have to save that for. We have to save that for another day, man. I got tons of stories, bro.
Get
Man,
that beat.
yep.
All right, guys. So
That's
next
it for
time.
me.
Yeah,
Until
that's it.
next time, I'm Mike.
I'm the money.